everyone, my name is Lehr-Furtado. I'm the coordinator for undergraduate advising with the School of Business. I'm going to do a few FAQ videos to kind of help since we are doing this all remotely with advising. This is going to be mainly geared towards business majors. If you are from a different school and you find yourself over here, just be sure you check in with your home school and with records and registration, of course. If you have any questions about this, it might look a little bit different for you. You should start building your shopping cart if you haven't done so already with the classes that you want to take for the fall semester. So start looking ahead, run your academic requirements report on pause. You can also use one of the major check sheets. I like to use both just in case there's something that looks glitchy on pause. And go through, not just for the fall classes that you might want to take, include summer if that's applicable to you. And also look at next spring, kind of plan out a little bit into the future. Even if things change a little bit, that's okay. But sometimes it's good to plan ahead because we have so many prerequisites within the business curriculum, regardless of major. So you want to make sure you stay on track. You also then want to reach out to your advisor. So after you've done a little bit of planning on your own, you want to contact your advisor. Faculty are doing this a little bit differently. Some faculty will be advising primarily through email, going back and forth. Some might do a chat. Some might do like this, a video through Zoom or through Google Hangouts. I've been using Google Hangouts and it's worked out very nicely for my advisees. But you want to reach out to your faculty advisor. You can see who that is listed on pause on the right side of your student center. You also want to check for any holds on your account that would prevent you from registering. It's really important you take care of those on the front end. We've had a lot of students sometimes go to register and not realize they had a hold until that moment, which is extremely frustrating if you're trying to get into classes. If you have a School of Business hold, you want to meet with your faculty advisor, and then they can email their department chair or me to have that hold released. This would apply to anyone who's a business major whose cumulative GPA is below a 2.5. We put holds on everybody's account. We want to make sure that you're getting that advising. So that's for School of Business. If you have a hold on your account from an unpaid bill or from something else, you want to reach out to the respective department. We can't release those holds. Same thing goes for EOF. If you're an EOF student, you'll need to get that hold released from your EOF advisor or the EOF department. Your advisor can communicate with your EOF advisor to confirm that you know what you're taking for the fall semester, but everything needs to be taken care of before it's time for your enrollment appointment. Also, if you're not sure how to find out when your enrollment appointment time is, you go to your student center, go to the right side, you're going to see a section that says enrollment appointment. You're going to click on the date, and then you can see what time you'll actually go on and register. So set an alarm, 2 alarms, 3 alarms if you're early in the morning and it's hard for you to get up. And make sure you register on time. This will ensure that you get the classes that you need. If you find that classes are closed that you absolutely need to take, it would be appropriate then to reach out to the department chair for assistance in trying to get into those classes. Sometimes the caps can be raised once they sort of level out over the sections. There might be a little bit of wiggle room, can't guarantee it, but you always want to reach out to the chair so that they're aware of your situation and the need to take that class, and they'll try to work with you if at all possible. Credit overload requests, our process is staying exactly the same for this semester. So we have an online Google form to make the request. It's on our advising page. You just need to go onto that website, fill out the Google form, and then we try to process these within about 2 business days. So please make sure you do those ahead of time. The policy is that you have to have at least 8 earned units. So you need to be sophomore status and you have to have at least a 3.3 cumulative GPA. If you have at least a 3.0 GPA, we will take a look at it and just take in other things into account and make sure you're not completely overwhelming yourself. This is just to support you, not to punish anyone. But that's what the requirement is. For accounting majors, you need to have that GPA, the minimum 3.3 GPA during sophomore year. Once you hit junior year, they no longer have the GPA requirement. That's just for accounting majors. That's to accommodate the 150 credits if you're going for your CPA. So that's the credit overload policy. Please get those in as soon as possible. We're just as busy at home, so it might take us a minute to get to it, but usually we try to get those processed within 2 business days, and then you'll get an email confirming that the process or the request has been processed and updated and paused, or you'll get an email if you've been denied. For freshmen who want to do an overload, we need to wait until you have those 8 earned units. So you can go ahead and put in the request, but then I'll say, please send me an email once all of your spring grades are posted and you have that minimum GPA hit, and then you also have the 8 earned units. So you could just wait if you want to until the semester's done, but if you want to go ahead and submit the request, you can, but then I'll ask that you please reach out again at the end of the semester once all your grades are posted. So now we're going to talk about the course repeat policy. You can repeat a course one time without needing any type of approval. So you can go ahead, say you were in Calc for Business and you need to repeat that class. You can go ahead and register for the class. Again, if you need to take it a 3rd time, then you would need to seek approval. So there's a form on Records and Registration website, the repeat course authorization form, and you would need to make sure you get that completed and get all the necessary approvals to take it for a 3rd time. It's important to note that if you withdraw from a course, it is considered an attempt. So if I'm in Calc for Business fall of freshman year and I withdraw from it and I take it again spring of freshman year and then I get maybe a D or an F and I need to repeat it again, I have to go through the approval process. The great thing about repeating a course, if you need to do so, is that only the higher grade will be calculated into your GPA. So once that new grade is posted, a few weeks after grades are posted Records and Registration will run a process to pull out the lower grade from your GPA. If you see that it hasn't happened, it could have been missed, or maybe the grade wasn't posted in time, so you can submit a form to Records and Registration, the course repeat notification form, just to put that on their radar so that they can pull it. Now remember, it will get also, if you get at least a D, so if you at least pass the course, it's being calculated in your unit total until it gets pulled out. So always keep that in mind. One of our biggest hiccups when it comes to graduation is that a course might be going in 2 times if it needs to be repeated in your unit total. So when you run your academic requirements report, you'll see at the very top it has total units completed and in progress or earned and in progress. And if you have 2 classes going into that, if you're currently repeating one, that's a problem. You need to make sure that you pay attention to that because you can only earn credit for a course 1 time. You won't get credit for it twice. So always, always pay attention to that. To graduate, you need to have 32 units for all of the business majors except accounting. Accounting, you need 32.5 units to graduate. So that's 128 credits, if you want to think of it that way, for all the business majors except accounting. Accounting, you need 130 credits. Sometimes accounting students will think they need 150. You don't need 150 to graduate. You need 150 to get your CPA license. TCNJ is not going to give you your license. You need to go to the State Board of Accountancy for whichever state you're going to be seeking your certification to make sure all the classes that you take are eligible if you take classes somewhere else. For the double counting policy, you can have up to 1 unit double count between major and minor if applicable. So if I am a finance major and I want to minor in marketing, then the 2 half-unit business courses would be my double count. Now this is where it gets tricky, so listen up. For correlate courses, they can count freely between major and minor. So if you want to say minor in, we'll stick with marketing, Eco 101 is one of the classes that can be used for the minor, and it can be used freely. So that's kind of like a freebie if you have microeconomics completed. Then you can have 1 unit overlap between major and minor. You can have up to 1 unit overlap between minors, if you ever run into that. And if you're a double major, you can have up to 3 units double count between majors. For liberal learning, you can have a requirement for major or minor satisfy liberal learning requirements, and that's fine if you're doing the breadth distribution, totally fine. If you're doing the interdisciplinary concentration, it's a little bit different, but for the typical breadth distribution, totally fine. As you know, as a business major, you have micro, macroeconomics, and those two classes satisfy behavior, social, culture perspective. Also, you have calculus, which satisfies quantitative reasoning, and then you have your statistics course, which also satisfies quantitative reasoning. If you were to pull in a minor in something that, like if you were to do a philosophy minor, you could have a philosophy course cover worldviews and ways of knowing, and that's not a problem. That's totally fine. For the internship registration process, this is really important. You need to register for that internship at the start of the internship. You can't have an internship over the summer, come back fall semester and request to have it completed for credit. You need to have a supervising faculty member throughout the entire internship. So what you do is once you get that offer, congratulations, that's awesome. You then want to seek out a supervising faculty member in that same area. So if it is a management, a human resources internship, then you would go to a management, full-time management faculty member to see if they could be your supervising faculty member. Then you would proceed with filling out the internship registration form and then the student employer agreement form. We need to have the enrollment form within ad drop week, if at all possible. That really needs to get submitted. You want to be registered for it for a variety of different reasons, but TCNJ has to report full-time and part-time students, and there's financial aid, all that good stuff, your tuition. So it's really important that you have that internship registered at the start of the semester. There will be additional academic components to your internship. You don't just do the internship and call it a day. You're going to work with your faculty member on what that looks like. So declaring a minor, if you want to declare a minor, you need to reach out to the respective department chair who offers the minor. If it's within business, we do not have any kind of application process. You just complete the form. It's on Records and Registration's website. You would go to that respective department chair. So if I want to do, say, an accounting minor, then I would go to Dr. B. Chang, the accounting department chair, discuss my interest with her, see if it's an appropriate fit. And then if she approves my minor form, I would then submit this to Records and Registration to have it added to my account. Across campus, it could look a little bit different. You might have to go through somewhat of an application process. You might have to have certain classes completed. So you always want to refer to the department who's actually offering the minor to discuss with them what that process looks like. You want to make sure that you have your minor added to your account or removed from your account at least a semester before graduation. This is so Records and Registration knows how to audit you and make sure that you have the appropriate academic program listed on your account. If you decide you don't want to do the minor, go ahead and just get it removed a semester before. I would also recommend that once you know you really want to do the minor, you go ahead and declare the minor. There could be some classes that, there could be some classes that are only available to those students who are in the minor or the major. So you want to make sure you get it declared. Having said that, if you don't really run into that issue, you might want to take a class or two before declaring the minor, just to make sure it's a good fit. Okay, so for this new ungraded policy for the spring 2020 semester, what you want to do is wait until the semester ends. You're going to all see what your grade is. It's very lenient this semester, and rightfully so, right, with everything going on. But you don't need to act right now. You can wait until that spring grade is posted, and then you need to notify Records and Registration by June 1st what you want to do. If you want to keep your grade for the class or if you want to go with the ungraded option. Keep in mind, if you go with ungraded, it will not impact your GPA, so that's the benefit. It'll just read CD on your transcript for credit. You need to have 3 units of graded courses to qualify for Dean's List. So keep that in mind if you're really shooting for Dean's List. You also have to have at least 12 units at TCNJ if you want to go for the honors for graduation. But this is a really, really great option to take advantage if you find that you are struggling in a course. But again, wait until you actually see what your grade is, and then you can make the request. The deadline is June 1st. So if you do want to do that, wait until the grade's posted and then make sure you submit that request for the ungraded option by June 1st.